I am governed from within, not by moods, not by markets, not by whoever spoke to me last. Before I command anything in the outer world, I have already settled who rules the inner one, and that order is the reason the outer world eventually obeys. By the end of this video, you will understand why the wealthy build a structure inside themselves long before they build anything outside. Before wealthy people build assets, they build a structure of internal authority that governs every decision afterward. You will see the 3 seats of that inner government, what each one does, and what breaks when one of them sits empty. You will hear how the Stoics ran an entire philosophy of power on this single idea, and how it quietly decides whether money that comes to you stays or leaves. And you will leave with the Inner Government Audit, a 1-page practice that shows you exactly which authority inside you is missing. Stay with me, because almost every financial collapse you have ever witnessed was not a money failure. It was a government failure. Picture a nation with no government, no laws, no one to enforce them, no court to weigh right from wrong. What you get is not freedom. What you get is chaos wearing the mask of freedom. Every faction does what it wants in the moment. The loudest voice wins the hour, and nothing built survives the next mood that sweeps through. Now, understand that most people run their financial lives exactly like that ungoverned nation. No internal law about money, no internal enforcer, no internal judge, just impulses competing for the throne, hour by hour, and whoever shouts loudest at the moment of decision gets to spend the money. That is not a person with bad luck. That is a territory with no government. The wealthy, whether they could explain it or not, did the opposite. Before the first asset, before the first real decision, they installed a structure inside themselves. 3 seats of authority, each with a different job, each holding the others in check. This is not a metaphor borrowed from politics for decoration. It is the actual architecture of self-command that every tradition of wisdom, from the Stoics to the present, has pointed at from a different angle. Let me give you the 3 seats. This is the first seat of the inner government, and it is the legislator. The legislator is the part of you that makes the law when no money is on the table and no emotion is running hot. It decides in a cool hour what your rules are. I save first, always. I do not make purchases over a certain amount on the same day I first want them. I do not lend what I cannot afford to lose. The legislator writes these laws in advance, in calm, precisely because it knows the moment of temptation is the worst possible time to decide. Most people have no legislator. They decide every money question live, in the heat, with the craving already screaming. A law made during craving is not a law. It is a surrender with paperwork. The second seat is the executive. The executive is the part of you that acts on the law when the moment actually arrives. The legislator wrote the rule in the calm. The executive must obey it in the storm. This is the seat of discipline, the will that transfers the 10% before the spending begins, that closes the browser tab, that walks away from the deal that violates the internal law. A legislator with no executive is a country full of beautiful laws that no one enforces. You already know people like this. They know exactly what they should do with money. They have known for years. The law exists, written and clear. There is simply no one in the chair whose job it is to carry it out. And the third seat is the judge. The judge is the part of you that reviews after the fact, without cruelty and without excuse. It looks at the decision you made and asks one question: did that serve the law, or did it serve the mood? The judge does not punish. Punishment is just shame, and shame builds nothing. The judge weighs, records, and adjusts the law for next time. Most people skip this seat entirely. They never review, so they never learn. So they make the same financial error at 40 that they made at 20, with more money at stake and the same empty courtroom inside. Now look at what happens when a seat is empty. Remove the legislator and you have someone improvising every money decision in the heat, with no rules to fall back on. Remove the executive and you have someone who knows everything and does nothing, drowning in correct advice they never enact. Remove the judge and you have someone who never learns, repeating the same mistake on a loop for decades. And here is what almost no one sees. When the inner government is empty, the seats do not stay empty. They get filled from outside. The advertiser becomes your legislator, writing your your desires for you. The impulse becomes your executive, acting without permission, and the opinions of strangers become your judge, deciding whether you feel rich or poor. An ungoverned self is not independent. It is occupied territory. This is why money that arrives without an inner government rarely stays. The lottery winner broke in 3 years, the sudden raise that vanished into a higher lifestyle, the windfall gone before the year turned. The outer wealth arrived, but it arrived in a country with no government to hold it, and capital, like water, drains straight through a structure that has no walls. You do not have a money problem in those moments. You have a sovereignty problem. The throne room inside was empty, so the money walked in, looked around, and left. Here is the Inner Government Audit, and it takes one quiet page. Draw 3 lines down a page and label them legislator, executive, judge. Under the legislator, write the honest answer to one question. What are my actual money laws, the rules I have decided in advance and in calm? If the space is blank, you have found your missing seat. Under the executive, write the last 3 times you knew the right financial move and did not make it. If the list comes fast, your executive chair is empty. Under the judge, write the last time you calmly reviewed a money decision without either shame or excuse. If you cannot remember one, your courtroom has never been in session. Wherever the page is emptiest, that is the authority you build first, not all 3 at once. The emptiest seat this week. A man without an inner government is not free. He is occupied, governed by whoever and whatever installs itself in the empty chairs. And the wealthy are not free because they have money. They have money because they were free first, sovereign over the one territory that every other territory is decided from, the self. Build the government, and the wealth has somewhere to live. Leave it empty, and nothing you gather will stay. Choose the emptiest seat tonight and sit down in it. I am governed from within. And from today, the throne is no longer empty. A year from now, every financial decision you make will be governed by the authority you install this week. Subscribe and walk there with me. Like this video, share it with someone still ruled by chaos, and tell me in the comments what shifted.